The era of metal has begun, and metal shall prevail. For we know what they have done. 5 legends of our realm who sought to follow the path of their dark musings. But they did not know what they had summoned. Pentakill. To these creatures, there is but one thing left to do. Heavy metal.
And welcome everybody to Series 2 of the VCS English broadcast, GAM versus Saigon Buffalo. If you're just joining us, so we saw Cerberus cleanly sweep OPG 2-0 in very convincing fashion. With me is Rebel, whose name I am forgetting, and fresh off the caster desk, Yulwei. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh. Well, I'm feeling okay. My tooth is still a little bit aching, so I'm happy to give you the way to cast in the series. But of course, still excited for our last series of the week. It has been a little bit of a weirder week, but yeah, it's still exciting.
Okay, so moving on into this matchup, we have GAM, top of the, well, not at the very top, but at the top of the table, versus Buffalo, who is just on the edge of playoffs. Just in there. Just a little bit. So, Rebel, you're the guest here. You're the new one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to... Is there anything about this, any matchups in particular, that you really want to talk about on this, for this matchup?
I do think that between Saigon Buffalo and GAM, 𝗵𝗔𝗀𝗀𝗃 has been one of the more consistent, if not the most consistent performer for Saigon. And then you talk about 𝗁𝗏 and just the star power that he brings to the team. I think it creates a very interesting matchup. And if Saigon wants to try to find some sort of any sort of semblance of team fighter ability to take down GAM, I think it starts with the jungle matchup and their ability to pressure up against 𝗁𝗏. I believe last time they played, both times that they won, that is GAM, both times that they won, they played Shyvana, which is really interesting to me because I don't know too much about how the Shyvana is operating into the likes, of course, of somebody like, or at least Saigon Buffaloes as a whole. So maybe you guys can enlighten me as to how it was that the Shyvana pick was just completely
𝗁𝗏 and the enemy dies.
How long have you been playing, Rebel? How long have you been playing?
5, 6 years.
Yeah, so you remember? Do you have flashbacks occasionally of season 2 Nidalee?
I never
Do you know
played
that?
New
Well, season 2 Nidalee was a lane champion that you threw a spear, and if it landed, the enemy had to base or they were dead. There was really a binary option, and AP Shyvana is the exact same, just other theory. So that's all it is. Yeah. So that's how it
Drops
works.
some big bombs on the enemies. It's actually Levi's most played champ this split. Has been banned against him a lot of times too. So they have really gone down the AP Shyvana train. He likes to bring the AP Shyvana whenever they can, and of course Shyvana 𝗀𝗃 is their bread and butter. But I wanted to touch on the Grace point because 𝗂𝗏, we had some criticism for him, of course, right? He had a very strange champion pool. Whenever he went to side lane, he just kind of inted most of the games, especially from behind. But this week, he has been absolutely incredible. He has carried GAM in both of the games. They played against Percent in the very first series, and he looked amazing. And he showed us some majors. He played Rumble mid lane, so I want to see if he continues that form, if he can even bring some more champions here, or if he goes back to Lucian, Tristana, and 𝗀𝗃 and just stomp some kids.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see him pick up those AP champions like the Rumble because it opens up Levi's ability to play AD junglers. Like the Lee Sin, where he managed to effectively remove Eagle from the game by purely pathing. It was really disgusting. So we've talked about the junglers. 𝗵𝗔𝗀𝗀𝗃, he's coming in very hot. But Yulwei, Hasmed, how is he going to fit? Oh, never mind. We're just gonna go straight into draft. Actually, finish the point. Hasmed, he hasn't been looking so hot. How do you think he's going to fare against 𝗁𝗏?
Last time he played one of the most incredible solo carry performances we've ever seen. He ended up with 17 kills on Cannon and somehow won game 2. He also of course, got the MVP for that one. So let's see if he can repeat that success. He has been on a very, very bad trajectory downwards. Has kind of looked tilted. His champion pool has had some issues. So let's hope he can show up, because if not, 𝗁𝗏 is just going to run away with the top lane.
And we're seeing very standard bans coming out of both sides. Saigon definitely targeting that mid lane. Is there anything that stands out in GAM's bans? There's something that stands out to me, Rebel?
Shyvana didn't get banned, so if they want to go back to Shyvana, which is what won them both games, and as you guys have said, of course, Levi goes back to that pretty commonly. They do that, but they do take away the 𝗀𝗃, and they actually pinch off the pool of quite a bit here. So they're putting a little bit of faith into Froggy, and also knowing the way that he has played the remainder of this week has been immaculate, and so they're making sure that he can't continue that snowball, all that momentum he's brought in from those previous games.
And I'm really happy to see a team finally completely attack 𝗂𝗏 in draft. We've seen so many times where his 𝗀𝗃 was open. Yes, that's a good champion. Lock that in. Tristana and Lucian. So time and time again, he's just gotten away with his very small ADC champion pool. So I'm very interested to see where he wants to go, if this is actually mid lane Syndra, or if it goes to the bot lane, as we don't quite know who's actually starting today. Could be Genza, could be Syndra in the bot lane for their mage player.
It's going to be what looks to be the bot lane locked in early for Saigon, as we see the Renekton hover. I actually pointing out that the Twisted Fate has not been banned for the first time in a long time against Buffalo. So I'm very interested to see them. I'm hoping they'll pick that up as we see the start of a very nice, very well-rounded draft coming out of GAM. Rebel, what do you think about the setup so far for GAM?
I'm interested about the prospect of flexing not only the Syndra to bot lane, but also potentially even the Renekton to mid lane in the right situation and in the right matchup. And at the moment, Saigon's composition is looking really good. I don't really agree so far with Lee Sin. I don't mind the takeaway, but I would have rather saw the double kind of global composition coming in with the likes of the Pantheon, Twisted Fate, especially since you've got something like Ezreal that's it goes so well in the late game. I guess the fear is they don't want to give over Lee Sin to Levi, and then of course again you've got other junglers right now. They banned out Rek'Sai, of course the Shyvana is still available as well, and so maybe they feel a bit more pressed to take that, and thinking maybe the TF can slip through the ban phase here.
And the Rek'Sai ban against Levi is a very curious one, and not a champ he likes to go for. Much more, if anything, I would expect him to go to Graves if we see an AD jungler. It's much more likely for him to go to AP Shyvana or Gragas, two of his most played champions. So don't really understand this ban. Of course, it's good into Lee Sin, but it's not like Lee Sin is an amazing champion you have to counter. So yeah, this is a little bit of a throwaway ban, in my opinion, for Saigon.
And there's no pickup of that second carry, the carry from the jungle position, as we see Kennen taken off the table. A very good pick for Hasmed, and has a decent matchup into the Renekton. Is there any... So, other than the Quinn, are there any actual Renekton counters that you can think of? Because
yesterday we saw Rumble. We saw Rumble top lane. I'm not sure, was it EUNA who played it? And it was actually quite successful in laning phase. Rumble is very volatile. Yeah. So the problem with the Rumble quote-unquote counter pick is when Renekton gets one kill through a gank, the lane is over. But the pure 1v1, I think Rumble can do fine. So maybe you want to go that direction.
See, I have issues with that, because the only Rumble top I remember was Tado.
Oh god, no, please. oh no. I mean, this one is fine in lane 2, right? On into Renekton. It's not a winning matchup by any means, but it can kind of keep out in CS and scale. It's sad to see Hasmed on, of course. We want to see him on a carry all the time. So top lane is going to be a little bit less exciting. And we have Easy Love in. So they are taking this match seriously. They're not starting any of the other.
And Hin is not in.
Wait, who is Jad?
Who is Jad? Who is he? Anyway, and there is the Rumble pick for Froggy, I assume, unless it's going to be on mid. But anyway, Rebel, what do you think of Buffalo's comp?
I think it's really interesting because they obviously drafted their bottom lane to start with, and I think GAM was able to get a blind pick Renekton that wasn't really punished with the Ornn pick too much. I will say Hasmed, he doesn't look particularly fantastic when he's outside of things like the Kennen and the Wukong, things that are good in the laning phase and great in team fights where he can pop off. And of course, the Kennen was what he did so much damage on before. I agree. The Rumble matchup in the top lane, I think, is perfectly fine in that you can wave clear against Renekton. I don't know about the Ornn because it team fights rather well, but the laning phase is going to be really scrappy, and especially with Levi wanting to find really good gank targets with this Gragas being aggressive early, I think it could spell some danger for these laning phases.
And Yulwei, what are your final thoughts on GAM's comp?
Yeah, looks to me like a pretty standard GAM comp. The DR1 Syndra is a little bit off, but of course, DR1 Syndra last split was absolutely amazing. He had a few of the highlight plays. I think he even made we even crowned him like the play of the season, where he had like the 4 or 5 successive stuns on Syndra. He hit everyone. He had 100% accuracy and scatter the weak. So I think he's still one of the best Syndra players if he has actually put some practice into her. And maybe even without practice, because of course Syndra didn't really change much. So I'm interested to see if he can manage his mana, because that is nerfed from last time. But other than that, just a very comfortable composition for GAM. Strong top lane, strong bot lane, strong mid lane, and Levi on one of his favorite champions.
All right, so who we think's going to take this one, boys?
I think Saigon requires a bit of early kind of pressure, or at least being able to snowball something like Style or Froggy to make sure that their team fight goes well. Outside of that, I think GAM has just their preferred composition. It's bread and butter for them, and I think that they are taking this seriously. They're making sure that it's not going to be easy for Saigon to slip into playoffs with something like this.
Yeah, I agree with that. GAM is going to take this game pretty easily. I say 26 minutes. It's going to be a little bit of a stomp.
Ooh. All right, then. Well, with that, we're going to bring in the big shouty man himself every day. How you doing, buddy? Fuck Jack. Okay. Yeah, but I think, yeah, there is that. I think if you're changing something in the bot lane, Jad's probably not, Hin's probably not it. But I guess GAM and Flash are probably the ones to experiment in, because you don't expect to win those anyway.
I just realised I've been
At
muted the
all?
whole time. Sorry, lads.
Oh, never mind.
Vinny's been talking to himself. That would have sounded really weird. My bad. I have been here. I swear he's not crazy.
So yeah, Jad. Just quick summary. Jad's been on the academy team for about half a year. He's bringing it in now because it's GAM, and you do not expect to win against GAM.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes some sense, but it's still very interesting. I'm keen to see how he goes. Has picked up the Pantheon, of course. This is going to be, I think, just abandoned style in this lane, don't you? And I think that's kind of valid.
That has seemed to be the modus operandi of every Pantheon, every successful Pantheon we've seen. And Ezreal is the champion to do that. I don't know if Style is the player to do that.
Yeah.
But and apparently this is the first time Ezreal has been played by Style. So maybe this is what we need. A champion with instant repositioning tools to get him out of...
You mean like Kai'Sa?
That's not instant. They have to walk.
The ult isn't. The
Anyway,
ult is
we've
instant.
seen-
𝗀𝗃 is going very aggressive onto 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝗀, forces the smite. But, ooh, hello. This is very aggressive out of GAM. The tag comes in and 𝗦𝗶𝗀𝗀 is dead.
You had to... You couldn't do that, man. I'm not even 100% sure you win that 1v1 anyway. But...
Yeah, ooh, hello. Damage in the bot lane, but it's okay.
Not... Was the safeguard used at all to for just shielding in the trade? Because
I would imagine so.
You really needed to. I think you maybe land the Q, do a bit of damage, then back off. You're just not there. And now your only blessing is that it went over to Levi, so the double buffs don't go into the top lane.
Oh, this might be another encounter here. 𝗁𝗲med takes a lot of damage. 𝗀𝗃 low as well. Can they turn this one around? 𝗦𝗶𝗀𝗀 will get the first kill, but with a teleport coming in, Dia1 is going to help out 𝗦𝗀𝗀𝗀. He tries to hop over to a minion, pops the flash. He's so low, and the auto attack does slap him down.
And great response from Dia1. As soon as they see 𝗦𝗀𝗀𝗀 is going to be there for the play, they know they need to bring extra, because the counter gank is successful at first, but Dia1's presence there just turns it around, and yeah, it's a 3v1 at that 3v2 at that point, and you clean up with pure numbers advantage, and the early game damage out of Gragas and Syndra is just insane. 𝗂𝗳𝗃 goes down very quickly. So does 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. And then it almost looks like he can get away, but that level up gives them enough damage to bust out that last Dark Sphere, and that seals the deal for 𝗬𝗪, who is now 2-0 and has a full lost chapter.
Yeah,
I think I've forgotten that.
Yeah,
item.
lost chapter.
Sure it's lost
Correct.
chapter.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny because those of you who may have only been watching this split might be thinking, "Oh, 𝗬𝗪 won on Syndra. I wonder if he's any good at it." He's one of the best Syndras I've ever seen. He just hasn't played at this split. Jad just flashed in front of a hook and what? Why didn't start like if you okay, he's a rookie.
I've got nothing.
I have no idea why he just did that. That was an awful decision. He flashed. He tried to go get down Mr. President when the gun wasn't even aimed at JFK.
I've got nothing.
I've got absolutely nothing. Let's move swiftly on. That is another kill going over to Levi. This Gragas is getting really big. You have to question why they banned 𝗁𝗂𝗃 and left Gragas open.
Yeah,
Levi is ridiculous on Gragas.
So if we're gonna move on to Buffalo, they're 2K in the hole, but they still have potential. Styles still on a pretty strong early game champion in this Ezreal. His earliest levels are pretty good. If they can sort of find opportunities to sneak away objectives like the 𝗁𝗏𝗃 and the Herald, they might be able to find their way back into it, or with a good roam and equalizer from Froggy. Because the combo in teamfights is still very potent, especially once style hits 6. You can just, if you get a big 𝗁𝗏𝗃 with a equalizer and a True Shot Barrage on top of it, that's a lot of AoE damage. So you are still in a position where you can win team fights on compo alone.
Maybe.
But
I don't know about that.
That does require a bit of execution, yes. But that's their way back into it. I mean, Wombo team fight, and
I think part of the problem though is that Wombo will definitely soften GAM up, but then you need style to finish them off, and we know how that goes.
You don't even necessarily need style too much. If you can get 𝗁𝗶𝗶𝗃 in there, that he can act as an assassin at that point, as well as
guess,
Jab.
But
you have basically double assassin in this in that after that sort of setup.
I suppose. We'll have to see if that actually happens, as we do have a 𝗁𝗏𝗃 set up at the moment. Slay's tagged. There's the equalizer being used onto only a support. That's a huge waste. That is now a massive ult cooldown gone. In comes the Ashe ult, only hits Jad, who then gets bounced into the middle of the enemy team. Style has picked up 1 kill. It's answered back, support for support at the moment. Levi burning down, he goes gold. 𝗁𝗏𝗃 gets the Sonic Wave, flashes too early, and now Saigon Buffalo are stomping the fight. 𝗬𝗪 last target gets hit by another Q, but I think they'll call it off there. That should get them the dragon if they want it.
That is a massive teamfight win. Slay just disappeared. I don't know where he went, but Jad getting, I guess, baiting the team in. I mean, I thought it was going to go wrong because even though Slay just disappeared, he still managed to land that CC onto Froggy, but
let's have a look at the replay. We can try and figure out what happened.
Getting the assassination onto 𝗁𝗏𝗃. All right, so let's see. So he goes down to half from the equalizer. Then, I don't know. Just 𝗁𝗏𝗃. True Shot Barrage. That does it.
Yeah, it was a true shot.
So and then at that point, it's a support trade, and then they just turn onto Levi as they're trying to escape, and 𝗁𝗏𝗃 just comes up big, finishes off 𝗁𝗏𝗃. Too good at just very well played team fight out of them. This style looking a lot better on this Ezreal than he has in on other champions. So maybe he found his groove. Maybe maybe he is the promised one, finally.
Maybe.
That was promised.
That'd be very exciting if Style has finally found an ADC he can play. But despite the team fight win, it's still going to be an objective trade, the Cloud Drake for the first Rift Herald. Early gold will go over to GAM. They are already 1,000 ahead and will only go further up when that Rift Herald is dropped. But 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗄 do potentially set up a Dragon Snowball. We'll have to see how they do around the second Dragon, but we'll take what we can get.
And really, that team fight was only going to bring them back to even, so they're not in a super commanding... So they weren't going to be in a super commanding position. However, it has accelerated the Manamune out of Style, so he's in a very good position. Unfortunately, they weren't able to shut down DO1, so the mid lane advantage is still massive, with a full GLP to only Merc Treads and a Blasting Wand on the side of Froggy.
Froggy is in a lot of trouble.
So... And we expect but Froggy's CS is holding up pretty well for being down 3 kills. As Levi's making his way to the top lane.
Yeah, 𝗁𝗲𝗄 could be in some trouble here. Oh, he goes forward. That's a bad decision. Will they go for the all-in? Of course they will. Levi sets it all up. 𝗁𝗲𝗄 ults. He flashes. He calls in his support. And Jad must feel a little bit betrayed. He should be able to get out, though, unless they want to go under tower, which they do. And it's an easy unleashed power. I should have known. That is a disaster. Just as the Buffalo fight back, GAM put them back in the dirt.
DO1's teleports have been on point so far. He is... reacted perfectly to every attempt going top lane. I assume he's half looking in case he's needed, but as soon as anyone shows on the side of Buffalo, instant reaction. It helps that Froggy can't really interrupt it at all.
We have a counterplay here. They want to go on to Easy Love. As there's the equalizer doing a lot of damage. The Ash Arrow comes out to buy a little bit of time, but it doesn't matter. Style will get the kill, but can Froggy get away from 𝗂𝗃? Absolutely not. But Slay wants to give the kill over. That was well played out of him. Can they get onto Style? Throw out the hook, but no.
Expecting the juke back. And Easy Love, you have to walk off the equalizer just a little bit.
Let's have a look at this replay. This is 𝗁𝗲𝗄 just not reading the situation.
Yeah,
it was a hard read.
It was quite different. I mean, with the aggression from 𝗂𝗃, it's hard to tell because he's been aggressive all the time.
Exactly.
And as soon as that spear drops, DO1 instantly, and then Jad's just once the shield's gone, he's got no hope to survive the burst out of these champions.
Oops, sorry. Dropped my glasses onto my microphone. Let's put those back on. As Jad jumps in, Slay tagged up as well, but they don't want to go into that brush. Levi, very obvious. There's a teleport coming, so a fight brewing. 𝗁𝗲𝗄 does not have access to the Call of the Forge God yet, but will have it soon.
That, they might have to call off the diamond. It's a wasted teleport.
Just complete waste.
I mean, it's not like they lose anything, really, because there's no top lane tower to take anymore, so Easy Love isn't going to be able to farm plates. But... And the... it's just... But there's... Yeah, it was a wasted teleport. You just sort of say, hi, I'm here. I won't have this for the next dragon, which is up in a minute and a half.
Yep.
Just...
It was pretty...
So, to be fair... GAM's teleports aren't going to be up either, but it's not like they need to. They should be in a stronger position when it comes to the fight.
Oh, speaking of which, Jad, they are really giving him a hero's welcome to the VCS, as they are not letting him do anything. 0-4 on this Pantheon, and g'day, mate. Hope you know how to keep the bench warm, because you might be heading back there. As
and
Froggy's in some trouble, rips out the equalizer to keep himself safe.
Yeah, it's good defensive equalizer coming out there. Clears up most of the back wave and gets a good bit of damage down. But Chad, yeah, he walks up against a Renekton that's already very fed. 2-1 and 3 before
I
that.
don't think they knew he was there.
A whole tower.
No. I don't think they knew 𝗂𝗃 was in that brush. I'll have to see the replay.
Maybe not in the brush specifically, but you knew he was down bot for quite a while because you were just hammering them with poke.
True.
So, I mean, this game is looking very much like Feed the Croc, just get the biggest croc out there.
I mean,
Make one that even Steve-O himself would fear.
That's not possible. He could talk even a big Renekton down. But the Drake is spawning. This is obviously going to be another fight. Do the Buffalo want to take it or just try and lick their wounds? Well, Style is answering the question. GAM not really responding. They're just giving this one up. That's a very un-GAM-like decision. They're coming over now, but it's way too late. And now we have a real possibility of the Dragon Snowball.
Yeah, Buffalo catching Levi on a reset really just meant that GAM could not react in time to that. And, I mean, Style is very far ahead. Yep. He can put out a lot of damage right now, which is so they can secure that dragon quite quickly. But meanwhile, the top wave has just been sort of kind of nothing for GAM. They're sending players up there and just conceding a bit of pressure. They're just playing ping pong with 𝗂𝗃.
Yeah.
I think you're probably better off just trying to actually feed 𝗬𝗏𝗏 in that bot lane and just put Renekton up there, make him freeze. If 𝗂𝗃 overextends, send Levi up there, get another kill.
Yeah, I think a freeze would be very advantageous.
Absolutely need one. Because right now you're just giving 𝗂𝗃 farm and he's going towards those items. He's getting lots of solo experience, whereas 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is effectively duo laning. And so 𝗂𝗃 could quite easily get an experience lead with the way they've been managing their lanes. Not right now because they're going for the second Herald. And so 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is going to get some alone time.
But yeah, no, you are right.
Yeah.
And obviously levels are super important for 𝗀𝗏. Level 13 for 𝗀𝗏 is arguably the biggest power spike in the game. Just because he can transform those two items, assuming he has them at level 13, which 𝗂𝗃 is on track to do. 𝗁𝗏 picked up by GAM. The first one that was, of course, used to crack the top lane. Curious where they'll use this second one. Obviously not as impactful, but still a good objective to pick up.
Plus, I'm going to rail on it a little bit more. You really want 𝗬𝗏𝗃 to be matching 𝗂𝗃 with the build he's gone for. He's gone for the Borg. He needs to be in that lane abusing that, because against Style and Jad, he's just sort of sitting there going, I can't effectively use this. I get to heal some of the poke back up, but I'm not going to snowball with it. So they are finally matching a little bit, but yeah, look, the CS lead could have been so much more than 8.
Yeah, that's Styles in a lot of trouble. The Ash Arrow won't finish anything off. Froggy playing good bodyguard there. Secret Service application doing well. But the Herald is summoned up, and with Style taking all that damage, this is undefendable. This will be mid lane cracked open, GAM getting a lot of map control. And it's looking like GAM is doing GAM things. 𝗂𝗃 throws the ult, forces a flash. There's an equalizer as well. Nothing's really landing. 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏's denied.
That's gonna fizzle out. That really wasn't a great ult from 𝗂𝗃.
No.
I mean, it hit Dia, but it wasn't going near anyone else. And Dia was just sitting on top of a lantern that he can click as soon as he can.
Yeah. It was an anemic engage. It really wasn't very impressive.
Yeah, the ult usage was pretty bad. But Silver Linings, Styles having a good game. Hooray!
I mean, the constant question we have to ask is, can Style actually do enough? He has gotten leads before and not been able to convert them. I mean, like, we give Style a lot of shit. Most of it deserved. Most of it deserved, but like, he has had a very bad split. There's no denying that. But he's 3-0-1 on the Ezreal, has 2.5 items. If he can carry this, it'll be very impressive, because it's not easy into this GAM team comp, particularly because of how big Dia 1 is. I was saying it earlier, I didn't really get a chance to finish it. It used, all through spring, whenever Dia 1 got Syndra, the running joke was that he would solo kill the enemy mid laner at least once. Every time. This guy's insane on the champion. He has one of the most hype highlight clips where he throws out like 4 Scatter the Weeks and stuns at least one person with every single one of them. in a row. It was ridiculous. Like, this guy's Syndra is ridiculous, even though he hasn't been playing at this split. He's now 4-0, 2,000 gold ahead of the other enemy mid laner. It's so hard to stop him.
I do want to point out the map state currently for GAM with the timer setup. They are going to prioritize this dragon, but look at the vision they've invested topside. They will know that Buffalo cannot trade this for the Baron or like try and drag them off by going to Baron because of the vision. But it does mean they're not set up properly for this dragon, so Buffalo can push in like this and threaten. Thankfully, Buffalo is not the ones with the second Herald, which got dropped somewhere.
It got dropped in the mid lane. It cracked the mid lane for
yes.
GAM.
Okay. So there's... And 𝗀𝗏 is very...
Jad's coming in with the ult. They want to get on to 𝗀𝗏. They get his flash. Traded for 2 ultimates. Style gets a few more autos on the tower. 2,500 health, but they could just trade it. 𝗁𝗶𝗴 is in range. There it is! 𝗁𝗶𝗴 beats out Levi. Will get the 3rd Drake stack. Slay is targeted down early. Froggy as well. 𝗂𝗏 is a big angry crocodile on the front line. 𝗀𝗏 has a flank. This is going to be a really hard fight for the Buffalo. 𝗁𝗏 starts us off with a kill. 𝗂𝗏 going low, but look at these health bars. Style's been hooked. It's 1 kill back, but it's not going to matter. 𝗁𝗏 kites it out, and all 5 Buffaloes have been culled.
And the fight looks so good at the start from Buffalo. They catching the equalizer in a small choke point that GAM was standing on top of, and then massive play from 𝗁𝗶𝗴 to get into the backline, but he kicks Levi in, and Levi can just stopwatch and deny all the potential from that. So 𝗁𝗶𝗴 ends up trading for... I mean, he ends up trading Levi eventually, but it buys enough time for 𝗁𝗏 to pump out the damage and 𝗀𝗏 to catch up. And then the Style almost looked like he could do it.
I mean, we'll talk about what happens in the replay during the replays. There is a Baron. 𝗁𝗏𝗄's here. This is potential for a steal, but secured by 𝗀𝗏. It was close. There's a big knock up, but 𝗁𝗏𝗄's not tanky enough. And it's going to be GAM walking away with 5 Baron buffs.
So it wasn't Ornn with Spellbook.
No.
So there wasn't going to be a smite out of him. So there is that. But actually, then again, Levi was dead.
Exactly. It was very close. Jad jumping forward with an equalizer. The barrel knocks him away, but still has the shield. That's going to be Slay cleaned up. 𝗀𝗏 has a flank, but he is spotted. Style wants to challenge him. I don't know about that one, son. Unleashed power comes out. He flashes away. There's 2 sides to this fight. 𝗂𝗏 gets one onto Froggy. 𝗀𝗏 still fighting Style, and 𝗀𝗏, of course, wins it. It's a double kill for 𝗂𝗏 as well. And the Buffalo, it kind of looked good, but now it looks horrible.
And the action is non-stop. They overcommit to a pick onto Slay, and then the collapse from 𝗀𝗏, who I think teleported behind him and just got the massive flank onto Style and just solos him out. And now they have this Baron buff. They have everyone except Slay, and they can just absolutely take out these remaining outer structures. 100%. They only have the 1 in the bot lane left before they're knocking on the doors. So it's dire. It's a 10k gold lead. It's all but lights out for Buffalo at the moment.
Yep, Jad is going to have another go here. You got to admire his persistence as they are trying to get forward onto 𝗀𝗏, but with the ult missing from Ornn and no flash, he is going to be able to walk away. He even throws a slow almost just to give them a little bit of BM.
They can kill him.
Yep, they can't kill him. He gets away.
They're throwing everything at him.
He's 7-0-2.
He just walks away.
Yep.
He has face rush. I don't think he even procced it until the end. He just walks away.
Yeah, that's what happens when the Ornn ult misses. Like, he just didn't get the lockdown. 𝗀𝗏 is looking absolutely unstoppable. This is why we want to see this guy play mages. Like, yeah, his Jace and his Lucian are super hype, but look at this guy's Syndra. Look at this. He is ridiculous on the champion. To see
so much of the split playing, meta. But he's gone back to this, and this is the statement that says, yeah, I can play meta. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
And I mean, with this and the percent game where
Uh-oh. Jad and 𝗬𝗶𝗴𝗀𝗀 are on the wrong side of the tracks. 𝗬𝗶𝗴𝗀𝗀𝗀 will be the first target. He goes down absolutely instantly, and then Jad will follow him. 0-7. The debut is not going well. An equalizer to try and stop the fight. 𝗧 a little bit soloed out. Can they get onto him? Nope. 𝗬𝗂𝗏 on the 𝗚𝗔𝗠 looking ineffective. Once again, a bit of a fall from grace continuing for 𝗬𝗏𝗏. The Buffalo, let's be real. There's not much they can do in this one. Oh no. Oh no.
Buffalo is just outclassed across the map. Save that bot lane carry position where Style is performing okay. He's actually putting out a lot of damage when he can. But if Dia gets on top of him, like in that last fight around the mid lane, there's
nothing he can do.
He's an Ezreal into a Syndra. She just skill checks him with her R button.
Yeah, it's not even a skill check, it's a stat check.
No, it's a skill check. It's the skill button. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Fair. Okay, fine. That makes sense. As GAM will move over to secure their first Drake, denying the Mountain Soul. I don't think we will see a Soul come in this game, but it's good to stop the Buffalo getting it. As GAM are just kind of waiting for an objective to take. Baron is obviously down. And Levi wants to get a kill here. Jad is the target. Can he get away? He should be able to get to this blast cone. Nope, he gets party barreled. They really don't like this guy. Come on, it's his debut game. He's 0-8. On the other side, 𝗬𝗏𝗏's been found. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 will go down. Can he escape? Surely not. He gets kicked. He tries to put a little bit of damage back. He can't get to his team. They should be finally killing 𝗬𝗏. They throw an Ash Arrow. GAM tried to keep him alive. He's gonna live! Oh no! No way! 𝗬𝗏, he finally dies! Oh my god, that should not have been that close. He somehow almost lives. And that just shows you how gone and over this game is.
𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 and 𝗬𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 3v1 against Dia. He just outplays him for so long and almost gets away with it. Oh, it's over. There's nothing from this. Why is this?
This
LPL
man.
teams, if you need a mid laner.
NA teams, if you need a mid laner. But let's have a look at how he did play this one. He got the catch onto 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and didn't actually convert the kill at first.
So they try and catch onto him, but he just puts out so much damage it blows up 𝗏𝗏𝗏 instantly. And then, he's just able to dodge around so much of this. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 just whiffs that Q completely. Body blocking from Levi to stop Style from getting that kill, and then 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 able to get it in the end, but oh my god, it was so close.
I mean, it's a real treat. Normally you have to pay quite a lot of money to see an expert ballerina performing Swan Lake, but we just got that for free. As he just danced all around everyone, pirouetted through the fight. He went down at the end, but hey, every good story's got a bit of a tragedy. Oh my god, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏. Please play Syndra more. Please stop picking Lucian and just pick Syndra
On the
instead.
plus side, that
kill, hang on, you don't have much time as there is another engage. The equalizer comes down. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 trying to zone out Easy Love, but on the front side it's 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Levi absolutely tearing them a new one. 2 kills for the Croc. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 misses the redirect on his 𝗚𝗏. This has been a shocking game out of him. He will get 1 kill, but it really is just a consolation prize as Style and 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 are both getting soloed out by 𝗁𝗏𝗏. They can't stop this crocodile. It absolutely is the crocodile rock, and he's going to rock around the clock as he is chasing down. God, that was too many syllables. And Style is the only one left alive, and this should be the game.
Yeah, that should be it. Style, he's just going to get pincered in here. Maybe he can get onto 𝗧. Yeah, no.
Okay, he got the kill onto Levi.
He got Levi.
Makes his KDA look better.
Yeah. Sort of split his attention there. He almost could have gotten both. It was one auto attack and 𝗧's gone, but...
Sure. I don't know how much it matters. It might stop the game ending.
It doesn't matter that much, but it brings me on to the point I was trying to make, is that With 𝗬𝗏 one death, that makes me feel a little bit better about the sleeper matchup we have.
Damn it. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say...
Syndra was scary.
I'm going to say he's done enough for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this game's over. Let's be real. This is done and dusted. I'll praise Style. He's doing about as much as he possibly can. But I want to kind of look at 𝗀𝗚, because 𝗀𝗚's bot lane, okay, everyone flames 𝗬𝗏, says, you know, oh, 𝗬𝗏's one of the worst AD carries in the league. He's not. He's done really well this game. And Slay, I should say, has been playing amazing.
𝗬𝗏 has... I mean, this is probably one of the
𝗬𝗏
lesser games.
𝗬𝗏 is getting engaged here by 𝗬𝗏 as we talk about him.
Play-by-play. Even if he dies, it's just another kill. Another kill for 𝗀𝗚.
It's true.
𝗬𝗏, this is probably one of his lesser games, but he hasn't really been bad. He just hasn't...
Oh, hello. There's the 𝗬𝗏 ult going in. Jad taking a lot of damage, but it's converted now onto 𝗬𝗏𝗀. Kiaya's low. The party barrel snipes the kill. Froggy's the next target. In they go. 𝗬𝗏 ripping up the backline. Double kill for 𝗬𝗏. Should be able to make it 3 if he can get onto Style, who's doing his best to kite. He deals a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. Triple kill for the Ashe, and that will be game 1. Absolutely no problem. 𝗀𝗚 walking it on in. It was a ridiculous performance. In true 𝗀𝗚 style, we got 44 kills in 31 minutes. The Nexus goes down.
16k gold lead.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Turns out it did need play-by-play because that ended the game.
It did. But we will be back in just a few minutes to go back to the 5-head council. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS English.
The era of metal has begun, and metal shall prevail. For we know what they have done. 5 legends of our realm who sought to follow the path of their dark musings. But they did not know what they had summoned. Pentakill. To these creatures, there is but one thing left to do. Heavy metal.
Approaching our gates, we cannot
And welcome back to Game 2 of 𝗳𝗏𝗶𝗴𝘀 versus 𝗀𝗏, where 𝗀𝗏 pretty convincingly walked all over the buffaloes, turned them into endangered species. Rebel, what happened?
It's a complete run over of the map by the side of GAM. I think it started with first off, Levi was running Predator, I think, on the Gragas, which was a little bit interesting. That allowed him to just constantly be in lanes across the board. They had strong lanes to start with, despite the fact that, of course, you had Levi there all the time, and their control of the map just led to way too much. The Ezreal didn't get online fast enough. They didn't have the team fight. I thought the Rumble ultimates were a little bit misplaced. Quite a bit throughout the game is just messy coming out from the side of Saigon.
Yeah, it definitely was quite messy. Yulwei?
Yeah, I mean, we looked at the draft and saying, yeah, they have strong lanes in every single lane, and then also a good ganking jungler. And you know what? Exactly that happened and played out in the game, right? All the games lanes won, and then they also had Levi to snowball the games even further ahead. So it was a very predictable game, but I mean, they still played it perfectly. And Dia won with another amazing performance. I think we came to an agreement that he's our MVP for game 1. Even though 𝗂𝗧 ended up with the bigger score line in the end, but Dia won with amazing plays on Syndra. So.
And as we're going to go into the cast, Rebel, what do we want to see out of Buffalo? What's got to change?
I think they need a winning lane to play around. I think they needed to consider at least taking away the Syndra. I know maybe that's completely revolutionary to them, but they got absolutely bodied last game by Dio and Syndra. And consider a few things. Again, if they've got a lane to play around, especially with the way I didn't think 𝗦𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀 played last game particularly poorly, especially the dragon control early. If they've got a lane to play around and they've got at least one strong champion alongside Style on that same Ezreal and 𝗦𝗶𝗀𝗀 being able to have that same kind of dragon control, the game probably looks quite different. So I think at least somebody to play around in the early game would be helpful.
And so obviously 𝗀𝗏 doesn't really need to change too much, but is there anything you'd like to see out of them, Yulwei? Anything, just maybe something spicy? Or
I would like to go back to top lane counter picks, because we know 𝗂𝗧 is just super solid and you don't need to counter pick for him, but it would be cool. It would be cool to see him bring out some new top lane picks. He showed us his prowess on Jax. I want to see some Aurelia top lane, some let's go. I don't know. What did we see already? We saw some Kayle. So maybe give us a Kled. Yeah, a Kled is a good idea. I mean, you don't need to counterpick Kled, to be honest, but it's still a cool idea.
True. So we're going to see our first pick Lucian, and it's Buffalo that first pick it. What?
Basically, they banned the 3 champs again, right? They banned the 2 Dia 1 champs and then first pick the 3rd one. So following the same ban strategy as in game 1.
But your question is, where does it go? Are you giving it to Husband? To Froggy? Are you expecting Froggy to do well on this pick? Rebel?
I think it's flexible. I don't think Froggy's getting it by any standard. There's still a Kennen available too, as well as a Wukong, which would be shocking to me if they decided to put the Lucian in the mid lane as opposed to anything else. I suppose it could be used to counterpick anything in top lane or potentially as a flex. But if they pick Ezreal here, this is really bad. Oh, okay, I'm not liking what Saigon Buffalo have decided for already, because now you've given away the fact that it's not going to be bot lane Lucian. It's going to be solo lane Lucian, and you've got a really powerful bot lane locked in the Ashe and in the Pantheon. Even if they can't really break the Ezreal Braum lane, they can very easily impact other lanes with the arrow, the ultimate coming through from Pantheon. It's really simple to try to oppress this map right now.
Maybe it's a solo lane Ezreal. Lucian Braum is an old combo. I mean, we haven't seen solo lane Ezreal, but there were some rumors about him. And I could see that more as a Froggy champ than Lucian. It's also not quite the style Froggy likes to go for, though. Can Lucian jungle? I mean, 𝗦𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 has played a lot of ADCs in the jungle. I'm not sure. Maybe he can jungle too.
With the Wukong lock-in, does it go top? Oh, sorry, Rebel.
You're good. Yeah, I was about to just add. We see the season 8 Ezreal jungle from like the world's meta. That'd be cool.
Yeah. There are lots of potential options. Not terribly likely ones, but potential. We see the Wukong as the pick for 𝗂𝗧. So we are looking towards that top lane. Do we see any interesting counter picks coming out of Houseman? But Levi and 𝗀𝗏 targeting the jungle. And then Italy.
I actually feel like this Wukong pick was quite smart here for 𝗀𝗏, because I feel like Hasmid is the more likely recipient of Lucian, and I don't think Lucian is that great into Wukong, because Wukong has so many means of getting on top of him. So I feel like this is a preemptive counter pick into top lane Lucian, and now 𝗁𝗏𝗏 Buffalo needs to adjust their draft, needs to say, okay, is Hasmid actually comfortable playing Lucian into what is going to be a lot of CC on the other side, or do we have to put the Lucian into the mid lane and hope for the best for Froggy?
I think also it's possible. They really could pivot this if they're really comfortable with Froggy taking either the Lucian or the Ezreal, and they go Malphite here because it's definitely gotten through the draft. It's really good to set up your double ADC composition late, and it's a pretty much direct counter pick to what the Wukong brings directly for the laning phase. Then you open the possibility of like, okay, does Levi take the Wukong in the jungle, and then we get into an absolute just like cluster of what we potentially think. Oh, okay, and then maybe GAM just takes it, and they're not even gonna give that over.
Ooh. So where is this Malphite going? Is this Dia's Malphite? Do we think that? Malphite mid? Malphite jungle?
I don't think
Malphite
GAM
what?
I don't think GAM knows where their composition's going until Saigon finally locks in everything. They're just locking in left and right, trying to figure out what to do here.
Malphite can definitely jungle. We haven't seen it in pro play, but he's not actually that slow in the jungle. So I'd like to see that. It's another Hasmid 𝗁𝗏𝗏. You hate to see it. So it's mid lane Lucian confirmed. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 is supposed to be good into Wukong. We have actually seen some Wukong win this matchup as well. But 𝗁𝗏𝗏 for sure is very good into Malphite too. Malphite actually struggles big time into 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏, so.
And with the Sylas jungle. Very interesting.
Oh.
Very interesting. The last Sylas jungle we saw was Levi, and it was not good.
It wasn't. What do you do here? Like the Mordekaiser's thought, I suppose, is just, oh, I can pull out the Malphite or I can pull out the Wukong, whoever's engaging. But then how do you win afterwards with double ADC Sylas and Braum? Like, what are you going to do in that? Unless it's like you pull Malphite, you have Malphite ultimate on your Sylas, and then you just turn with that. But this is still such a confusing composition for me to just try to digest at the moment.
And very happy Yulwei. Take it away.
Yes. It's Levi 𝗁𝗏𝗏. He was the master of 𝗁𝗏𝗏 last year, the only one to play 𝗁𝗏𝗏 in the VCS. Now it's back in the meta, and he's one of our best pathing junglers. He always steals CS from Froggy. Now they're actually in the same game. We always say Levi goes through some dimensions to steal CS from Froggy. That's why Froggy is always 50 CS down, Levi 50 CS up. This time they actually face off against each other, so let's see if we can repeat that trend again.
Did that lock?
Yeah.
They didn't swap the Sylas and the Ezreal. The Ezreal had Smite, which means unless they're playing some really hard games here, I don't know what's going on.
We are staring at a little bit of a pause screen, so we might have to resolve that one.
I have a feeling we're going to see a quick remake. But so, assuming Ezreal is going into the bot lane, Rebel, what? Saigon's gone. You're not a fan, I assume, of judging by your discussion of that Sylas pick.
So the thing is I don't like the Sylas pick necessarily in this particular game, but the thing is, it's the only thing that makes that composition work because they've got Lucian and they've got Ezreal, so they've got good through and through damage. They've got good mobility on their ADCs, and Braum helps both of them. They're immaculate proccing those Braum stuns throughout a fight. The problem is now your Mordekaiser's basically relegated to taking either Wukong or Malphite completely out, and then all you've got left is your Sylas to try to engage after that fact. So if both Malphite and Wukong get ahead, there's nothing stopping GAM from just winning the fight immediately because Sylas can't respond to that level of like damage. It's coming out onto a backline that's very squishy.
Yulwei, Buffalo, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I can't really find any new takes for that composition, I guess. Sylas jungle, I'm not a big fan. I think it's too slow. I like Sylas. I like it's not into 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏, but it ended up being into 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏. He can copy the ultimate, which is quite nice to start fights off. Of course, Sylas doesn't go for quite as high AP as the 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏 on the other side, so it's not quite as useful. but you also have the Malphite ultimate. So 𝗁𝗔 compositionally makes sense. I just don't like 𝗁𝗔 in the jungle right now. I think it's too slow. If you want to go AP junglers, go somewhere else. So yeah, overall, I feel like they are too squishy, especially into 𝗁𝗲. He was a perfect last pick, in my opinion, into two ADCs who are not going to build many resistances. And against 𝗁𝗔, who's going to be on the squishier side in the jungle. So it's going to be a 𝗁𝗏 game.
Okay, so in that case, so we've had a little bit about GAM's comp. Rebel, what's your take on GAM?
I think they've got really strong lanes in the regard of like, okay, you've got Wukong into Sylas or into Lucian, into anybody that you basically grab in that sense. The Malphite's going to be a direct counterpick to the likes of the Lucian because you can just stack armor, you can wave clear against them. It's real simple. Even when you get your ultimate, there's really high burst potential for a solo kill, and then you compound this into like the final like team fight phase where you've got this Wukong, you've got this Malphite, you've got all this ridiculous amount of AoE damage. Like it's so hard for me to see how, like, outside of just snowballing early, outside of getting like a massive Ezreal and Lucian advantage early on, how it is that 𝗳𝗏𝗶𝗴 actually take this game.
The cool thing about this combination, in my opinion, is how fluid they can adapt their team fighting, right? In a lot of comps we saw today from Cerberus, they had Nocturne, Camille, and Galio. It was always the same, the formula. You had Camille going in, followed up by Nocturne and Galio arriving with ultimate. This composition has three champs who want to go into the backline, or at least impact the backline, in Wukong, Malphite, and 𝗁𝗏, but the succession is not set in stone. You can go wherever you want. You can start with 𝗁𝗏's ult, soften the targets up, and then jump in with the two divers. Or you can jump in with the divers and follow up with 𝗁𝗏's ult later to get the Dark Harvest damage and the execute damage. So it's actually super cool to see the multiple different facets of this composition. And I'm interested to see which way GAM likes to play then later on in teamfights, if they opt into the more used 𝗁𝗏 style, where he just, at least in pro play, where he opens up with ultimate, or if he actually gets to execute everyone later on.
Plus as if they get ahead and are willing to play their cards to their chest, they can just alternate Malphite and Wukong. So, one fight, Malphite makes the engage, next fight, Wukong makes the engage, while the Malphite ult is still sort of coming off cooldown. And that means it's constant pressure, constant team fights, constant pain on the side of Buffalo. So yeah, we are still waiting. So I do want to talk. So I'm going to focus in on one matchup in particular, Malphite versus Lucian. That's what we're going to see. I assume it seems a pretty easy one to predict, but Yulwei, what do you think?
So that's actually not going to be that easy matchup for Malphite early on. Of course, he has high armor totals, but he needs a little bit of time to build up his damage to respond to poke champs like Lucian. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough time in the mid lane for DR1 at the start. But once he hits level 9, once he hits like his first big armor item, like Bramble Vest, then the matchup is going to turn, and then he can just poke down Lucian. The sustain will not be enough to keep him healthy, and whenever he has poked Lucian down to like 500, 600 HP, then he can look for an all-in kill. So it's going to be a little bit of a defensive start to the game, as it almost always is with Malphite, and then after a few levels, after a little bit of time, he's going to dominate the lane later on.
But will he build magic resist? just gonna put it out there. We've seen it. Yes. Forgetting that terrifying memory of Zeros. We'll go back to the bot. We'll go to the bot lane for you, Rebel. Ezreal Braum versus Ashe Pantheon. How does that lane go? Because I don't really know many bot lane matchups that don't involve Zilean. So talk me through it.
Yeah. So the Ezreal is really good at proccing Braum passive because his Q does apply that with that Winter's Bite, which is rather nice. It's a very defensive bot lane in the same way that like old Ezreal Tahm Kench was very defensive in that it's super hard to aggress against in that regard. And Ezreal does allow for Braum to move around the map a little bit. Braum isn't as mobile as something like Rakan or Bard and getting all the way across the map. You won't see him probably end up in top lane anytime soon. But you can make the level the level 6-ish roam for that the minute 8 roam to Rift Herald, something along those lines, or try to control bottom river with Braum. It's pretty easy to do that because Ezreal is really safe. The problem with this lane is that they do get poked pretty hard by Ashe. Pantheon is very difficult to engage into unless you've got a third champion, so they're going to need pressure from the Sylas to come in if they want to get aggressive. And then even if they're able to neutralize the laning phase, Ashe and Pantheon have such hard global pressure across the map that it's going to be very difficult for them to respond to that. So they need to not only mitigate their lane, they need to control the lane to make sure this Ashe and Pantheon can't get out and affect mid pressure, jungle pressure, things of that sort.
Yeah, that is an excellent breakdown. Very, very good. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm struggling to find topics here as we are finally looking like we're going to go back into the game now. We've got the team comps lined up ahead of us. Final thoughts, Yulwei, you start us off.
I love GAM's team comp. They are going to dominate this game again. I was 5 minutes off with my last prediction, so I'm going to try again. 28 minutes for GAM.
Okay. And Rebel, final predictions.
GAM's going to win. If you want a little bit more controversial of a topic, I'd like to see Malphite bid a little bit of AP or go Emax first with minion dematerializer, because that means you can wave clear and you control the mid lane and Lucian can never leave.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, with that, we're going to bring in every day. How'd you enjoy this draft? Because it was. I was not having a good time.
I was having a great time because I wasn't on the desk, so I just got to sit here and have a bit of fun. But we'll chat with you boys after the game. We'll just be me and Yulwei now, bringing you all of the action.
I am not Yulwei.
You are not Yulwei. I forgot that Yulwei was summoned out. It's you, isn't it? My mistake. It's going to be me and Vinnie bringing you all the action. God, it's almost like I have a premeditated thing that I say.
Yeah.
And got
it's almost
confused.
like you've been casting with the same person for a couple of years. Yeah.
I think we're just past our 1 year anniversary. Not too long ago, but yeah, it's been good. It is of course going to be me and Vinnie. My mistake. And yeah, I mean, Froggy's playing Lucian. The comp's gone wrong.
This is going to be interesting. This is a very interesting
Froggy is playing a lane bully. The comp is gone wrong. There's no other way to put it. I think, I understand the effort of you just got to force DR1 onto something he's not good at, but the dude's got a champion ocean. If you're getting to the what's the point of hamstringing DR1 if you hamstring your own team as well? This is not a good trade. It doesn't make sense to me.
I also think, for the most part, the DR1 Lucian is not as threatening. Yes, he got that pentakill once, but overall, it's one of his less threatening champions because it's such a high execution champion. Okay. So if you are able to sort of, if the matchup was reversed, it would be a lot more. It'd be a lot more standard to what we expect, like DR1's on Lucian, and then Froggy can hold him down on a Malphite because you shouldn't be able to kill a Malphite as a Lucian.
Yep. You hope not.
Hope not.
But he is going to be able to bully the lane, though. Even Froggy might actually get a CS lead. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
To be fair, we figured out that the reason Froggy's always 20 CS down is because Levi steals his jungle farm, even though Levi's not in the game. But he can't do that because he's in the same game. He can't reach through the 5th dimension.
He can't just reach, across the map.
Well,
apparently not.
No, of course not. That's not how that works.
It is worth mentioning. Look at this jungle matchup. Levi has already completed his entire jungle and is making his way down to the bottom crab, whereas Silas has done 4 camps. He's a few camps behind, and I understand not contesting because I think you lose that early skirmish if you're Levi.
Mostly because of the mid pressure. Lucian's the 2v2 is not close.
The 2v2 you definitely lose, and Levi also being on roughly half health at when the crabs are spawning.
Yeah.
While 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 is basically full because it's a very healthy clear out of Sylas. So.
It is, but you can speed it up and sacrifice health, but he obviously didn't go for that one. Yeah, Sylas's clear is ridiculously slow. It's why I don't think he's a very good jungler at the moment.
No, he's not.
It's very, very slow. I understand, like, Sylas against this comp is actually ridiculous. All 5 ults are pretty insane to steal.
Yeah.
But
when your worst ult option is Pantheon ult, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, exactly. But like the thing here is that if you kind of look at each pick individually, the only pick I don't like for the Buffalo is the 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. I really don't like the 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. I don't think it does anything in this matchup. But it's not horrible. It just death realms the Wukong. That's all that 𝗁𝗲𝗃 does this game. All of the picks are fine for the Buffalo. It's just that they don't have the players to play them.
They don't have the players to play him necessarily, and the synergies between the champions aren't the best. Especially, like, the bet.
Oh, no, Style, careful. That's a Pantheon support. That's an Ignite. He cleanses it, but goes down regardless. Easy Love will be traded back, but Froggy's now in the bot lane. Slay in some trouble. Should be able to get gunned down. It's a good flash with the shield. Froggy, can he finish the kill? He can. The piercing light pierces on through.
And I was really and that's something you don't expect every day. Teleport Lucian in the mid lane.
Yep. I noticed that.
That is fair. That is fair when you consider it's into a Malphite and he shouldn't really have any kill pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But it pays off massively as he's able to come down and turn around the bot lane and get 2 kills on the side of. Okay, though he only really contributes to the second one. He's able to make it a 2-for-1 trade rather than a just straight up 1-for-1.
Sure.
And
but,
which would have been in the advantage of GAM, as gets the extra experience, gets the extra gold from First Blood. So now it's actually relatively even.
Let's talk about what that means though, that early map movement. Because GAM, despite being a kill down, is still 500 gold up. Mostly just because of the jungle. It's just the jungle.
It's not just the jungle. It
also,
is
okay.
the bot lane.
I think the bot lane is equalized by the mid lane though. So the lanes equalize. The jungle, I think, is most of the gold lead.
Yeah, that is fair. Yes.
Of course, it is relevant that the bot lane is ahead, but not as much. Ooh, as we do have a 1v1, a 𝗂𝗃 flashing away. He should be able to get the kill now, as there is a smack from the Wukong. 𝗁𝗲𝗃 throws the hammer the wrong way. Requiem coming in, but it'll only get the shield, and it's very close, but 𝗂𝗃 wins out.
Yeah, and it's not a really much of a counter matchup, is it? And you're seeing sort of a little bit.
I mean, it should have been, except 𝗁𝗲𝗃 threw an obliterate to hit nothing.
Yeah, okay, that is actually also a fair point, which I did sort of just forget about.
Yeah, let's look at the replay here. As a 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀 main, I'm gonna talk over you. As the Cyclone comes in, fair enough. This is correct from 𝗁𝗲𝗃 so far. He actually wins this pretty hard because he's still got access to his W. He hasn't popped it yet. There it is. He flash Qs like an absolute idiot. If the Requiem doesn't come in. If the Requiem doesn't come in, he wins.
So, 𝗂𝗃 pressed S and I think tried to bait the idea he was hitting his W.
Okay, but you should know the cooldown.
You should know the cooldown.
Oh, hello, we come back to reality and Froggy, oops, there goes gravity as Levi blows him up with a skittle. And GAM. They never really say die, do they? As Jad and Style are in a lot of trouble in the bot side. It'll be a tower plate for sure. Can they get the kills? Of course they can. The arrows rain on in. Slay gets the first one. They want Style as well, and he has no chance in hell.
And it's just domination across the map. Froggy doesn't have Ignite, but DO1 does, because he's brought that spell book. And from there, Levi just swoops in and is like, yep, I did this.
Oh, hello. Levi could be in a bit of trouble, but yeets himself over the wall. And what gets yeeted has been
Bot
yoked.
lane to assist. Yes. Yep. The arrow is kind of a...
Why is 𝗁𝗲𝗃 here?
Kind of interesting.
Why is 𝗁𝗲𝗃 here?
He's...
Oh, 𝗂𝗃. So 𝗁𝗃𝗃 actually had a pop at 𝗂𝗃. Okay, so this is a kill, obviously. What? How does 𝗁𝗲𝗃 end up in the bot lane?
His teleport would not have been on Gold Cocktail, so I guess he just walked
I
for
don't
some reason.
know. And he loses 2 tower plates, so despite getting a kill back on 𝗂𝗃𝗃, he's still pretty woefully behind in gold. Confusing.
And we're already approaching a 3k gold lead at 9 minutes. This
Yeah.
is...
Welcome to GAM.
And it's all the CS, really, because you've got 2 kills. That's 600 gold. You have a couple tower plates. And it's all CS and lane pressure. That's all it is.
I mean, the jungle has already grown to a 30 CS gap.
Yeah, the jungle is insane. 𝗬𝗂𝗔𝗀 is doing his best.
Oh,
to
Requiem getting ripped out here. They want to try and get onto 𝗀𝗏𝗏. There it is. Claimed. 𝗬𝗏 now is trying to get those rock slaps. But Star with a good flash towards the tower. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 can't follow up. Has the arrow in just a few seconds. Has it now. Does he want to let it rip? I don't think he will.
Don't think so.
No.
I don't think you... think
Oh, and hello.
you
Whoa.
trade.
The Herald got stolen as well. Oh, no, it wasn't stolen. Sorry. Buffalo were taking it without contest.
Buffalo were the ones
I'm
yes.
mistaken. It was secured, not stolen. But dropped now. This is a big bit of gold coming back in.
Now he's
There's
got some
𝗬𝗂𝗏 getting the enchanted crystal arrow, throwing it. We know Silas loves killing royalty, but can't
Easy
quite
Love.
finish off 𝗬𝗏𝗏. He's kiting this one out. Look at the man go. 𝗬𝗂𝗏 will be the first one to fall. He flashes forward, gets a slow onto 2. That's a double. He wants style as well. 𝗀𝗏𝗏 arrives though. Guns him down. Up in the top side, 𝗂𝗃𝗃 has lost the 1v1 to 𝗬𝗏𝗏. 𝗃1 flashing over the wall. 𝗀𝗏𝗃 might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, but he's going to try and run away. 𝗧 with a big bit of damage. I feel like there's no unstoppable force. I think 𝗃1 underestimated 𝗧's damage there.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I was not expecting that amount of damage to come out of that final Q. So
let's see how this happens.
As they just engage heavily onto 𝗀𝗏𝗃, but the bot lane is there in time to turn it around. And again, Requiem means Levi can participate from everywhere. The style is able to get away from, use the flash to get away from Dia and before 𝗬𝗏𝗏 arrives. And then it looks like 𝗬𝗏𝗏 is about to be caught, and well, he is caught. 𝗬𝗂𝗏𝗏 goes right on top of him, steals the ult, but just
How
doesn't
does he
have
not
the
kill him?
burst.
He got interrupted.
The ult
mid-combo.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got, and then 𝗧
That was
joins
really
in.
well done by 𝗬𝗏𝗏.
Really well played by 𝗬𝗏𝗏. And I'm going to take a moment to say I am vindicated from my pain and spring split of saying Ashe is good, pick Ashe. Look at people picking Ashe.
I mean, to be fair, Vinny, I think people figured
I've
out
been
the
vindicated
Ashe.
for a whole split.
Yeah,
but
you've been vindicated for a whole split. But
I haven't been able to complain. I haven't been able to gloat on cast yet.
it's true. This is your first chance. You did, yeah. You spent basically the whole spring split saying, "Hey guys, Ashe is really good." And what do you know? You were right. But 𝗁𝗲𝗔𝗏, I don't think we'll get a replay at this point, but he did actually solo kill 𝗂𝗃𝗃. This is still a counter matchup. Like, I don't
Yes.
like the 𝗁𝗏𝗃𝗃 pick because I think it wastes 𝗁𝗲𝗔𝗏 talent. Ooh, okay, we will get a replay. Bit
Yeah,
silly
so-
of 𝗂𝗃𝗃 to even engage.
𝗂𝗃𝗃 just engages, looks for the trade, but 𝗁𝗲𝗃 just says, "Yeah, you
Just
don't get
slaps
to
him.
go anywhere. Sorry, mate." Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah, he just slaps him to death. Like,
And
yeah.
yeah, look, at this stage especially, 𝗁𝗲𝗃 should be winning these all-ins and
yeah,
trades, but I mean, but yeah, when it comes to the team fights, Wukong's going to offer a lot more. Wukong's going to scale a lot better.
Well, I
It's
mean,
just-
that's sort of the point of the 𝗁𝗏𝗃𝗃 pick, is that the Wukong doesn't necessarily offer that much more because you ult him. That's why you pick 𝗁𝗏𝗃𝗃. It's not just a lane matchup. It's also, like, you can't... What are you going to do? You're going to cyclone me in the Death Realm? Cool, I don't care. You can't cyclone my team. That's kind of the point.
Only really works if you get the drop on the Wukong, but a lot of the time the Wukong is going to be getting the drop on you and will at least get one round of his
Ooh,
ultimate off.
hang on. This could be a really
They're
big
trying to
bait
bait.
here. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 coming
Because
in.
they
There it
are-
is. The unstoppable revolution comes in. There's another kill on the other side of the map, but it's a shutdown onto 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Style wants to make it 2. 𝗧 very low, forcing a stopwatch, but no one goes down to the Death Singer.
And yep, just well baited in. 𝗵𝗔𝗀𝗃 having the big ultimate, as we're going to see what happens on the other side of the map. It's just 𝗬𝗃. It's just being greedy.
Oh, yeah.
And Levi's there to punish it.
Yeah. Just a bit of greed. That wasn't great.
Yeah, it's... If you see the... and yet, I'm not sure if the flash just came off, but if you see, like, him... If you see the laner giving up CS to cheat towards you on Krog, you flash him.
I really don't like 𝗬𝗃's build. I feel like 𝗚𝗶𝗴𝗆 is just 10 times better than the Seekers. Just go 𝗚𝗶𝗴𝗆.
Yeah, it also It also provides a really good as you move on into the team fights, because you're gonna get that against the Ashe as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do end up death realming the Ashe, you have a better chance in fighting her.
Yeah, I think
have that block heal.
Yeah, and also because
this is a roundabout way of me saying yes, you are correct.
I know. I'm glad you added to it. I just wanted to add as well, like, you don't want to build Zhonya's on 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. It actually feels really bad. I guess there's a little bit of incentive to dodge the Karth Assault with it, but realistically, you just want to go Liandry's into Rylai's. You don't want to build the Hourglass. Just build the 𝗚𝗏𝗴𝗆. It's cheaper, and you actually get more out of it. You get similar amounts of armor, but the grievous wounds against Wukong, because of how, like, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 doesn't kill Wukong quickly. That health regen that he gets from the passive is super relevant. You do actually really want that 𝗚𝗏𝗴𝗆. So, 𝗬𝗃, come on, man. You're letting me down.
Okay, there's one bit of tech. I mean, it's not really tech, but if you are, like, losing really hard as 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀, if you build Zhonya's and there's, like, just one really fed member on the enemy team, just take them and Zhonya's in the death realm, and it wastes a lot of time. That's about it. That's about the only use Zhonya's has.
So
back to the game.
We've been talking about some of the more active members. Let's talk about Levi.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
7 stacks, 3-0, 7 stacks, 150 CS.
He has the highest farm in the game. He's a jungler.
Yes, he is.
This
is
insane.
Been having quite a good time.
This is why Yulwei cries for Levi to pick it. Every draft, Yulwei will say, Levi, you could pick Karthus this game. Levi, you could pick Karthus this game. And he never does it. And this is why we want him to do it. He is so good.
This is the Karthus game that lives up to the hype. He's played it once before this split, and it was alright. He didn't do badly, but it was not this. This is just... yeah.
This is, like, almost game ending. This Karthus being this far ahead. It's almost game ending. I don't know how they stop him. Do you start death realming the Karthus? Because you don't win that 1v1.
You definitely don't want to.
No.
Because you death realm the Karthus, and then there's all this knock-up and CC that they have to deal with.
Well, I mean, you also lose the 1v1. You actually make it
true.
You actually make it easier for Karthus to kill you if you death realm him, because his Skittles will always be single target.
Yeah, that is also a fair point. It is not a great. It's not a good time to be a 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 in this game. But it's also a very bad time to know what your opponent is doing, because there is next to no vision on the map, and this Drake is just coming up. GAM is moving in right now to sort of set
this would
be
their third Drake as well. This would be them picking up their first mountain, moving to Soul Point. The Skittles are raining in.
If they can get this mountain, like if they get Mountain Soul, there is no hope on the side of Buffalo. You have a giant fight.
We've now got 3k health, down to 2.4. The unstoppable force was stolen, but there's a TP into the backline. They're going to collapse onto 𝗂𝗃. That's a huge mistake. The Drake's already gone down. Requiem coming in. 𝗬𝗃's in the death realm with 𝗎𝗍love. 𝗬1 has picked up the kill onto Jad. 𝗬𝗃 comes out. Levi and 𝗎𝗍love are awaiting him to escort him off this mortal coil. They do it well, and GAM continue to storm ahead.
And I get the idea of going for that play, trying to just collapse onto 𝗂𝗃, but it's not good enough. The Rift Herald's drop, that's going to get at least 2 charges. If they decide to follow up, they're not going to, so this bottom tower won't fall.
It's not a very important tower, so.
They could have just...
Hello. 𝗬𝗠𝗔𝗀𝗃 is about to die. Slay zoning Froggy off to make sure he can't help. And,
It's just another kill for Levi. That's 15 books. 15 pages. So, yeah, as we see this, we see the teleport come down. 𝗬𝗠𝗃 decides, I'm going to interrupt 𝗀𝗃, but that just leaves you open for the DL1 engage. And 𝗂𝗂𝗔𝗀's teleport into the back line was just not well advised. That is not what the 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 is meant to do against this composition.
𝗂𝗂𝗏, I feel like 𝗂𝗂𝗏 doesn't know how the 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 is meant to work. As we come back to live, 𝗎𝗏𝗏 has been taken down. Can they get the trade onto Style? Of course they can. 𝗀𝗏's the second target, and it's all too easy. That's another kill. 2 kills, in fact.
Stacks.
23 pages in the scrapbook. And I'm just going to talk about the 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 again very briefly. This is a champion I play a lot. I kind of know how this goes. You have to already know who you're death realming. If you're death realming Wukong, build a Bramble Vest, and then go into your 𝗬𝗏𝗔𝗀𝗃 Medjais. If you're going to be death realming Ashe, you need a Proto Belt. Because you can't get onto her otherwise. If you're going to be death realming Ashe, build a Proto Belt so you can actually catch her. But let's have a replay here. We didn't see the start of this play. That's a good catch out.
It's just a catch out with the Brom Q and the follow up. It takes longer than they expected because Dia comes in and they committed a lot to getting that pick because it was over the wall. So it looks like a good idea, but it turned out not being one. But it's hard to know when you are so pushed back. You have no vision in the enemy jungle. You just kind of got to go for these Hail Marys sometime.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Look at the gold. He's 3,000 gold ahead of 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗏. Oh. He's 3,000 gold. Look at him. He's 2,000 gold ahead of his team. This is insane. This guy, why does he not play this champion more often? He's one of the best 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 jungles I've ever seen.
I mean, I do want to say that 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 does bring that really low engage, but when you do have
up in the top side, fighting onto 𝗂𝗏, but there are reinforcements coming. The monkey goes to the death realm. Can he survive long enough? He has to get away for a little bit longer. He will be able to slip there. Very well aimed true shot barrage to make that a 1-for-1.
Yeah, very well timed. As 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗎 has caught out
𝗎𝗏𝗏 can get to the blast cone though, just in time.
Just in time, but yeah, 𝗂𝗏𝗏 does his best to get the to get the most out of being caught in a 3v1, and good snipe from Style.
Yeah,
that's a bit more gold onto the Ezreal. That as they push this mid wave, they had the inside track on it, and they're gonna fall back, probably reset before this dragon because they really need to get control of this pit. While GAM should just, vaguely threaten it and then take back.
I mean, I think GAM will just take the team fight. Yeah, it's probably the better play to just kind of posture for dragon.
This was before I remembered the gold lead is 6,000.
Yeah. And it's a 25 stack Medjais on a 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎 who already has his Zhonya's and his jungle item and is at 209 CS at 22 minutes in the jungle. Froggy's been caught out. There's the unstoppable force. Can they get the last skittle? Nope. DL1 will burn him down. And how do you kill this 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎? And the thing is, how do you kill the 𝗁𝗏𝗄𝗎? Even if you do, he still wins the fight.
It's really a dire situation. There's next to no way for them to really do this. I guess if 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗎 can delete him immediately and assassinate him, which he's not going to do this far down, as Dia just picks up another tower, and they're going to get a Mountain Soul completely uncontested.
This game is over. This game's over. It's been over for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it has. This is really going to be it. They did not come to play today.
I think they tried some stuff, but
GAM didn't come to play today in the sense that they're here to work.
Yeah, fair enough. They didn't play with their food. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't the OPG match. They're just putting Buffalo in the dirt.
Oop, 𝗀𝗃𝗃 reckons he can win
now-
this 1v1. I still don't know if he can, but he has a QSS, so 𝗁𝗲𝗄 isn't going to be able to get any trades. It was all a bait. He lacked critical information. And that's going to be a kill picked up for 𝗁𝗏. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 moves into the enemy jungle.
Respecting respecting that.
Yeah, I mean, 𝗂𝗏𝗏 gets one shot if 𝗁𝗏𝗏 gets onto him there. Can still use the Malphite ult to get away. There's the Requiem, and 𝗂𝗏 flies on in. Oh my god, it's a massacre. Cut the stream. Cut the stream. We can't show this. This is R-rated as GAM just walk over the Saigon Buffalo.
And that's sort of the Wombo combo you were talking about. Just someone was talking about, I think it was Yulwei with the you dash in, you just blow them up, and then you Karthus ult. And for the last bit, so they sort of landed at the same time. So either way, lots of damage all at once.
𝗁𝗏𝗏 is at
Instant
516 AP.
Yeah,
516. Oh my god.
And, I assume he already has his death cap, because what do you say here? They just explode and then they run him down.
Oh, and we go back to live and Mordecai's is dead. D1 killed him. Okay.
Yeah, you don't win.
He doesn't have his death cap, by the way. He's got the rods, but he doesn't have the cap yet.
Okay, so that's only going to go up. It's going to go up by a lot. We're going to see probably around 700, 800. As do
we need a replay? 𝗁𝗏𝗏 knows. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 knows he's dead. We come back to live. It never stops. Vinny, this is how Yulwei often feels. You don't get to talk. This is the everyday cast. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 is just running away. The observer's desperately trying to show everything. Jad actually does escape, and 𝗁𝗏𝗏 certainly won't. Back to prison with you, as we do go to a little bit of a slideshow. Come on, stream. You can do it. It's okay. They're back.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, why are we going to see Malphite just, sort of slap 𝗁𝗏𝗏 to death, where there was 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏's engaging onto 𝗂𝗏𝗏 as the replay comes in? It
happens, whatever.
But people got caught. Here we go. We're gonna see it again. 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏's, standard stuff. You steal the arrow. You use the you whiff the arrow.
Still, they kill 𝗂𝗏𝗏.
Frog is still here. Yeah, they kill, and we're not going to see the rest.
We can't have the rest because the party never stops in the VCS. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 goes into the death realm with 𝗁𝗏. 𝗁𝗏 potentially outfighting him here, turns gold. Won't go down in the death realm. Can they eventually get him? No, this Pantheon walks on away. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 very low. They can't finish him. What am I talking about? Yes, they can. As there it is. Kaboom! The nuke comes in. The carpet bombing comes over. Kyle lost 3/4 of his health. So the Rabadons is complete. 715 AP.
Yep, that is
715.
Oh god, that was disgusting. I don't know what to tell you.
𝗂𝗏 engaging in. They want to end this game right now. Style very, very low, as is Jad. There's one being finished off. 𝗁𝗏𝗏 charging forward. Don't ruin your KDA, son. As the inhib goes down. 𝗁𝗏 dives in to help the team. Are they just going to win the game right here? I think they definitely want to. 𝗀𝗃𝗃 bringing a second wave in. I don't think the Buffalo have any chance in hell of holding this one. And truly, the Levi Karthus sung a dirge for the Buffalo. They will get cleaned up one more time. This Karthus has rung true. This is why we want him to pick it. He gets a double kill. I think he ended up 9-0-13 or something. We're going straight back over to our analyst desk as soon as I fix the cameras. And Yulwei, you guys can take over on the old mic. You made a pretty good prediction there.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very good game. Yeah, I mean, you guys run with it.
So, 28 minutes, I said in the second game. Do you know when it ended? 27-57. There we go.
No, that doesn't count. Sorry, you're off.
The Levi Karthus, once again, just brought a lot of death from far and close up too. But Rebel, what do you think about that one?
So I like the one time I used to play top lane in Clash, and the one game I was playing against like a silver player. I was playing Fiora. I had Tiamat at like 7 minutes into the game, had like 8 kills. I don't think in that game that I had 9 CS per minute. And Levi just did that on Karthus jungle in a professional grade game. Are you kidding me? How do you not punish that? How do you not punish a Karthus that long? Let him full clear back to front his jungle for the first 15 minutes. At one point, he was over 10 CS per minute, and then he started going for kills, and obviously that worked out for him too. It was ridiculous the way that he was able to play the second game. Like, what was the plan here? You have Ezreal, you have Lucian. Great. You've got Sylas. Sylas did nothing. Top lane lost, kind of back and forth a little bit every once in a while. But for the most part, all the Buffaloes did was just kind of sit there and wait for Levi to say, "All right, we win." That's
Levi had to complete his PvE game, and then after playing through his PvE game and finishing that mission, he realized there were some champions to kill, and then he just pressed his RQ a few times, pressed the Q key a few times, and everyone died very quickly. There was some ridiculous damage out of Karthus. Sadly, we don't actually have damage graphs, which is very sad, because I would really like to see how much damage he did compared to all the other. I think he probably got close to having more damage than the whole enemy team in this game, which is quite ridiculous to think about. But yeah, 10 CS a minute at the start.
I want to just touch on a little point you made. You said he played PvE and they only went to farming champions. I don't think he farmed any champions. He just farmed slightly larger minions.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because that's...
he bought the DLC, but then was very disappointed with the content.
Absolutely.
It was promised to be so much harder, but then it proved to be just as easy as farming all the jungle camps.
Yeah, and Buffalo just were not here today, but you know who was here to play today? Levi, who is going to get our player of the series and our MVP for game 2, because what a Karthus, play it more. I don't care if DL1 is stuck on Malphite for the rest of the game, if for the rest of the split, if we see Karthus more often, mate. Oh, look, give it, come on. Mwah. Play fit.
Honestly, DL1 also with a very good Malphite performance. Of course, he can't be as flashy as some other champions, but he was where he needed to be. Did he die a single time in the game?
No.
I don't think so, right?
No.
Yeah, perfect engages.
I've lost sleeper. Come on, man. 𝗀𝗟𝗃 really had it out for me. He's on my team, right? But so to make it much worse, he goes after someone else on my team, Easy Love, and kills him again and again and again.
Wasn't a simple series.
Sleeper's rigged, man. It's a great series.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just going. Go for it.
One last thing, because I want to point this out about the series, which is unfortunate, which is that game 1, Dia did so well, it was hard not to give him MVP. Game 2, how do you not give a Karthus or any jungler that hits like 10 CS per minute like MVP? 𝗧 had an incredible series. He was playing against a new support, I understand. He was playing with a team that was just dominating across the map, especially that Pantheon game. He was everywhere. He was making plays happen. Yeah, he wasn't defending the Ashe, unfortunately, and that cost you some points in the sleeper. But I thought 𝗧 had a phenomenal performance. And honestly, if I had to give a runner-up and a very close runner-up to Levi for player of the series, I think 𝗧 was right there with Dia in that regard, because they had a phenomenal set of games between the two of them.
They absolutely did. And with that, that's us done for the week. We will be here next week again. Most of us will be. Rebel, maybe some. We'll bring you on again eventually. Thank you for coming tonight. We've been VCS English. Thank you, Yulwei. Thank you, Everyday, for hosting the first series and casting. Yulwei, thank you for casting.
Thank you for stepping in for me. Thank you very much.
Fix your tooth. Or don't. Casting is fun. I don't mind doing it. So, with that, check the links down the bottom. There's lots to go through. There's socials. There's donations, which you don't have to. We'd like it. We don't get paid. I'm hungry occasionally. So click the links. Come around next week. Have a good one. See you around.
Week.